Populous is a global design firm that creates spaces that bring people together. When you think about the amazing projects that we've designed, stadiums, event centers, convention centers, it's all about bringing people together and creating enjoyment.
What we've found with Populous, we're continuing to rethink, recreate, reestablish new standards and new expectations on what these facilities should be like, how they're designed, and in particular, how the customer interacts with the facilities.
You know, in a stadium, there's all kinds of levels of seating, big club levels that are quite fancy, skyboxes or suites. And, you know, the thing about sports architect firm like Populous, they understand all that stuff. If you hired a regular architect, you might have a beautiful building, but it wouldn't function. You know, I mean, they understand how a stadium works, and that's why, you know, they've remained successful.
Populous and their predecessors had long been involved with the architecture here at Arrowhead, and that really went all the way back to the original construction of the stadium in 1972. My dad had a very special relationship with Ron Labinski, who led the architecture back in those days. Back in the late 1960s, when the process started for the construction of Arrowhead, my dad had a real specific vision for what he was looking for. First of all, it would be a football-only stadium, which it was one of the first in that regard. But he wanted a place that would be special from an architectural standpoint and also from a fan experience standpoint. And Ron was really able to bring that vision to life. So it was only natural that when we got to the major renovation of the stadium that we would select Populous.
You know, when we first approached Earl, the only other ballpark they had built was the Baltimore, which was just a complete open air. We said we had to have a dome stadium that the roof would contract and we could keep it air conditioned. And Earl never said, we've never done anything like this. This has never been done anywhere in the world. And he could have easily said that, but never did. And that has been emulated all over the world since then.
This group, when you think about how far they've come from a handful of guys that started out of college and got together and said, hey, let's take a risk and start a global, world-class firm, to today, 40 years later, and we're almost 1,300 people in 16 different countries and 30 different offices. It's pretty incredible to think how far they've come and how much they've grown, all because they're so passionate about the work and because they've worked really well together to build a global organization.
I believe with all my heart that the success of my whole career started in 1989 with Populous, building and designing Camden Yards. They're very deserving of this award, and I'm quite proud to have been a part of their life at one time.
I'm very proud of them and what they've accomplished. And so for all of them, they're in the trenches and they don't get to be celebrated. They don't always get to cut the ribbon. They don't always get to push dirt and do the shovel bit. But at the end of the day, there wouldn't be these great arenas. There wouldn't be these great experiences. And there wouldn't be the industry that we all know and love today if it wasn't for not just Populous, but all of the people in the ranks of Populous that make this work.
I just want to extend my congratulations to you and the rest of the organization for being the winner of the International Entrepreneur of the Year. Congratulations, you guys did it.
I'd like to congratulate all of you on this very well-deserved award. Kansas City would not be what it is without you, and the Kansas City Chiefs are thankful for everything you've done for our franchise.
This year's Henry W. Bloch International Entrepreneurs of the Year and Entrepreneur Hall of Fame inductees are the co-founders of Populous. Represented by Chris Carver, Ron Labinski's wife, Lee Labinski, Earl Santee, Joe Spear, and Dennis Wellner.